So, hello and welcome to my next chess video. This is probably the last video I'll make solely using this computer I'm using right now, because in 1 or 2 days I will buy a new notebook, and this will be much stronger than this computer. So yeah, here Komodo Dragon is playing against Stockfish 8. I let them play this position here without opening book or table bases. 10 minutes with a 5-second increment where is the time control. Stockfish played the main move here, e6, and Komodo went back, and now Stockfish played his knight there. Probably wants to go here, but let's see. I wouldn't do another move on the queens on the queen side here, but yeah, f3 is the move here chosen by Komodo Dragon, strengthening the center. Not sure what this move does. Probably prepares g4 g5, g4 g5, or h4 h5 in the future. The knight is coming in here, using 3 moves just to eliminate that bishop. But okay, the bishop also used 2 moves and 1 to recapture, so it's probably wise to do something like this against this kind of setup for white. Here I would just continue by playing bishop e3, knight takes, pawn takes, and bishop e7, queen here, castles, castles, b5, pawn here b4, and you have kind of succeeded. Probably something like this. Yeah, we have bishop e3, g4, bishop takes, pawn takes. Let's just move a little bit further here. Probably not here. Probably the wisest move is to go there. It's very hard to kick this knight from here. g3, and you completely block the king side, so there is no real attack. Knight f5 is of course not the main move here, but okay, we don't have taking the bishop here anyway. So knight c5, bishop e3, bishop e7, and immediately g4. Komodo Dragon goes for this immediately. So let's see, probably not h6, because something like this would result in losing the rook, and also it's weakening the king side. It doesn't really help. Probably not h6. What about just cancelling here? I mean, if you go there, the knight always comes to h5, and then you're blockading the king side, so I would go for h4. And now I would eliminate that bishop, and I don't know, do something like this, but then this kind of stuff is coming, so I'm not sure about all that. But Stockfish is not castling. Stockfish is rather moving the knight back, preempting this g5 move, but now the knight can't come over there anymore. But okay, currently you are on this square 2 times and white only 1. But queen d2 might come, g5 you can play as well, and castles is also an option. But the question I have here after that takes, no, the knight is covering this square, because otherwise this could be a threat. It's a sacrifice on the Sicilian anyway. So let's see. Queen d2. I wouldn't castle here. I mean, okay, h4 doesn't work currently because just takes, but you can castle. So knight takes, bishop, pawn takes, and a5. Maybe you're coming with a4, the other knight jumps in here. You give that check immediately. Stockfish gives that check immediately. That's probably a wise decision. Instead of castling, giving that check. Bishop d2 most probably. Bishop takes, queen takes, now castling. But now I can face h4 more quickly, so it's not that simple. But you don't have to exchange. You can just leave it that way and castle immediately. Now you blockade this h4, and if the bishop ever takes and the queen takes and h4 is still blockaded, so just castle here. But the queen here might be something. Okay, you lose another tempo when black takes, but okay, black takes the bishop. That's a little bit odd. Bishop takes, queen takes. Most probably white is somewhat better here, I would say. Yeah. What means somewhat? I think white is a lot better. I mean, how do you prevent h4, h5? How do you castle facing the storm on the king side? Staying in the center might also be a bit difficult because of something like f4, f5. So let's see. I bet Stockfish will just castle and then game continues with h5. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes bishop. Knight here followed up with d5 or before b5 or doing anything else, but yeah, probably b5 here. Castles, knight here, and you want to push b5. So okay, king here. First of all, you kick that knight, and now you execute d5, and I think black is okay here, no problems. So this might not be the way to go for white. So let's see. Queen is on f2. You'd like a horse jump from here to here, but only with this kind of maneuver. So let's see, black is down on only 6 minutes 17. I gave them, I think, 10 minutes and 5 seconds increment, I said, and after this I will see at both evaluations. Yeah, Stockfish castles. Not much happening with this setup. It's a very solid setup for black. I would say with the knight on c5 you can always take this bishop on b3. That's a problem because otherwise this bishop on b3 is very strong. Just imagine this diagonal is opening up completely. So yeah, here Komodo just executes this move, and let's just see. So Komodo gives this as equal, so does Stockfish most probably. Yeah, Stockfish gives it a slightly better for black, even yeah, this version of Stockfish anyway. So we have b5. Typical Sicilian position. Pawn here and knight e5. Now Stockfish is speeding up, playing a couple of speeding moves, but what can you do? So now we have castles. Dragon Komodo is playing also quite fast. So let's see, knight is coming to c5 maybe. Those kinds of pushes can come. Maybe, or you just take the bishop. Or push. Yeah, pushing immediately is also wise because yeah, then the knight is taking away that square, so you cannot grab this because now the bishop is trapped. so let's see how white deals with this. I mean, black is pretty fast here on the queen side. Just pushes, leaving the bishop hanging. What's the idea behind that? I mean, takes, rook takes, king takes, rook here, check. This cannot work. I can't believe something like this. No, this is definitely not working, but I have to investigate this later. So we have h6 and that move, and now the knight takes, and this is trapping the bishop, right? So what's the point of this bishop sacrifice? Okay, wants to give it up on that square, so probably knight takes now. I wouldn't have done that. Or is there a tactical... Oh! You get the piece back with queen d5, d4, threatening mate, and also the knight, so temporarily giving up the piece. That's probably the reason why this was played in the first place. So let's just... Oh, I went too far back. Much too far. H6, if you push a4. Nah, I don't understand it. I don't have to, basically. Yeah, now the knight returns back. But now knight takes here, completely dismantling the position. No, first we had that check. King went there. And now the knight went back, and this knight took here on d6. That's very tactical. Knight takes d6. Knight d7. Rook there, threatening a fork. I'm not sure if Stockfish is surviving this. Piece up, but well, this is like terrible for black. I mean, how do you stop f4, f5? How do you stop f4 in the first place? Okay, yeah, Stockfish is just blockading it. Might be something. I don't see the next... Oh, knight here. Yeah, how do you stop f4? Queen back and now f4, but now at least the queen is defended there. So knight here attacking the queen. This might not be the best course of action. So g5. Sacrificing yet another pawn. Wow, if this stuff is working against Stockfish 8, then those neural nets with their form pawns, as King's Crusher used to say, they are really very strong. Another key. This reminds me of the game Stockfish versus Stockfish 8 versus Alpha Zero. Knight here. Okay, this is attacking the queen, but what is the queen doing here on h8? I mean, you can completely lock it down. Komodo is not stupid and takes it. Komodo just goes back. Now you have many options. Just push, and this queen will never see daylight again. So you just play like 5 points up, because white is down a piece, but yeah, rook here. And now just e5, securing this knight there. But how is white actually making progress? Using the queen on h8. Let's see. Rook there instead of e5. Yeah, you can always play e5 as well. Okay, the queen can't come out yet anyway, the knight is not in danger. So now I'm curious about both evaluations. What is Stockfish saying about that position? Better for white, much better for white. And here Dragon Komodo is saying it's winning for white. So I'm really curious about this game, what Stockfish 13 or the latest development version has to say about this, because it's really looking crushing now. It's just visually crushing, but what's the exact move order? And Stockfish is also down on time by nearly 2 minutes. So Stockfish 8 brings the knight back. Do you really want to play f5? So let's say you go there. This one is threatening mate, so you just grab it. Rook takes, and now f5. I'm just curious about that. Probably not. The queen is still covering all those squares. Anyway, I was just curious about that. And the knight went back to f3 to c3. Yeah, this is mad. This position is just completely mad. Sacrificing a bishop on c4. I thought he will get it back, but that's not the case. Bishop here a3, just slowly continuing the game. Because with the queen on h8, it's very hard to play. Rook here. Okay, now it's good that the knight is there, so there is no checkmate. So let's see. 4 minutes 15, so 2 minutes up for Komodo Dragon. And now it plays e5, which I suggested much earlier. But okay, probably earlier wasn't so great earlier, but now it's pretty good because you secured your knight on d6 and black's queen on h8 is really looking terrible. Very terrible. Extremely terrible. So now the bishop returns back, attacking the rook. This rook there isn't doing so much on h8 anymore because there won't be any line openings. So I would even consider something like rook here to there to double on this, to triple on that file, completely dominating the position. Well, now 2 minutes up. Exactly. Okay, just eliminate it. Fair enough. Yeah, now take this pawn. Nothing wrong with it. This pawn is secured and now you're also threatening this one. Okay. Queen here. Completely paralyzing black's position. That's just an amazing game, I have to say. Rook here. Completely going into passive mode. I mean, it's even possible to play something like knight b5 here. The position is just very strong. Knight here is also very nice. Just knight here. Okay, then you could exchange, but what is black actually doing? Rook here. Knight there takes. The queen is completely locked in. Now the knight has to move. Let's say it moves here. Just play this and not sure. I mean, even that isn't enough. This is just a checkmate. So that's just a bone. That's just a bone crushing move. Okay, the knight now went down. Just now rook takes, sacrificing everything, smashing through completely. So what about? Yeah, but I don't really see the threat. I mean, now you can't do something like this. Yeah, takes. Where's this knight going? Takes. Okay, you're playing. You say that this queen is probably not even existing. Probably you're right about that. This queen is not existing. It's really not. Hitting the rook now. The rook has to protect the knight. And the next move could also be knight here to go after that pawn. Wow. That's a massacre. Rook here. Okay, at least getting some counterplay or counter threats. It's not enough. It can't be, but anyway. Just a calm king here, sacrificing yet another thing. But if that, then just grabbing the knight. Although I think that's too much. Or is it? Knight here, check. King there. Queen there, check it. Not even this is too much. Not even this is too much. I mean, this is a checkmate. So that's mad. That's just insane. If this line is just insane. Knight here, rook there, and queen there. So black is in a desperate way. Knight here, and now you have to give up the queen. The queen wasn't doing anything anyway, but it's just amazing. Now you have a knight and a rook versus a queen, but it still doesn't help. Just rook here, queen there. Wow, that was a very nice game by Komodo Dragon. And this is a good finish to my to the chess history of this computer. And now Stockfish finally resigned. Yeah, crazy game, what to say. I mean, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.